Howdy folks, Kirk and Jason, Carl and Dan here today. We're getting ready to start a day where we are going to color code a house. I figured I've done something similar in the past. However, I get a lot of calls from people and some of them are just plain weird. I'm going to read one of them to you in a second, but I'll show you what we're doing, guys. We're getting ready to color code this house. What does that mean? If you get ready to paint your house, first thing you have to do is hire somebody that will pressure wash your house. And that what they'll do, it's the same thing for us. You pressure wash your house. You pressure wash the walls. Use 3,500 PSI. That's just the strength, guys. The PSI is the strength. And if you do it with a proper gas, you're going to remove all the loose stuff. Is everything going to come off for a color coat or a paint? No, everything is not going to come off. If you get 90% off, you're doing good. If you get 100% off, that means somebody just painted it that didn't even have a clue. Sometimes you get it all too much off, like right there where it's an area where the plants were and all that jazz, so a lot comes off. But what you have to do, guys, what you have to remember before you do a color coat maintenance-free finish, that means like a brick, and like a brick, it lasts forever. These people won't have to paint their house every 10 years. They still have to paint the wood trim. But this is what we're using, guys. It's La Habra Color Collection. It's a cementitious maintenance-free finish, and they went with silver gray. Anyway, I'll show you that in a minute, too. But here's something to remember, guys, because this is so important. When you're doing windows, doors, foundations, rooftops, here's what I'll generally do. And I've been doing this for like 40 years, guys. I've never had a color coat maintenance-free finish fail. So and what you do is by hand, you use a brush, and you put on Weldcrete or Quickcrete. Weldcrete is sold at the material yards, like the plastering material yards. Quickcrete is sold at Home Depot and Lowe's. And yeah, this is blue because it's that Weldcrete stuff. It's hard to see it go on the wall because the walls are a light blue, but you can see it dripping right here. Maybe it depends on the camera. What I'll do is we'll first go around all the windows and doors after we cover those windows and doors, and everything has been pressure washed first. Then we'll take a brush here, and I've been doing this already, and it's already done, but I'm just trying to prove a point here now, so I'll show you guys. We do that. Then next, what you're going to do, what we're prepared to do this morning is we're going to, and there's 5 gallons right here. So we take the fattest roller. Why the fattest roller, guys? Because if you spend $3 or $4 on a cheap roller, you'll be here all day. It's kind of like a brush. If you use a little cheap brush, you'll be here all day. Use the fattest roller you can, and if you're going to apply, say, Weldcrete, the bonding agent, or Quickcrete, you want something, a fat nap roller too. So we've just happened to use fat nap rollers, and that just means instead of me pushing this in here 50 times to do one little square, I put it in one time. Okay, and I got a little screen in there, and all you want to do, guys, is you want to put it on where, this is kind of critical. I've had, in this video, I'll include another video in the description where this fireman, he put it on so heavy, I said, man, we're going to get spider cracking. And he said, what's that? And I showed him, and he wasn't happy. I said, well, that's what you get because you wanted to save some money. And then I've had it the opposite where people don't go thick enough, and if I can't see it, I say, man, I can't see that, so how am I supposed to know our stucco is going to adhere forever? If I can't see it, that means you don't have enough. So what we're doing is we're showing you guys how to apply a bonding agent. And again, I'll put in the description a link on this particular bonding agent because 10 years ago I did a video and I explained a certain Weldcrete. And so rather than get too carried away in this video, if you're interested in this, you could watch that. But I want to read to you something over here, guys. Here's another thing too. All right. You say, what are you using? We're using 94-pound sacks. For every 94-pound sack, we end up putting a 2-pound pack of color. Now, we did this about 3 days ago, and this is curing. Why does it cure? Well, it's a really boring fact, guys, but when we first apply stucco, it's at a alkalinity of about 14. And if I paint this or apply color right now, it's not good. It won't last. I'm going to read to you something somebody sent me this morning, August 24th, 2022. I had some stucco repair. He did a few walls. He recoated. He painted the same day he installed the cementitious stucco. No hydration or cussing. I think they meant curing. No hydration or curing. You rub hard on the wall. Granules of stucco come with the paint. You can literally pull the paint from the wall. Underneath, the powdery residue in the stucco appears to be about to flake off. They sent me this, but they didn't ask me a question. They just sent it to me, and I thought I was almost gonna respond with, "Hey, thanks for sharing. What do you want? You're just telling me what happened to you." I thought, okay, they're frustrated. Leave it alone. Don't go pissing them off saying weird stuff. But anyway, this got to hydrate, and the reason is that boring stuff about waiting for the pH level to drop down to about a 7. I can go into further details of the different cements you use and if you want to stucco the next day or paint the next day, but I won't go there because that'll get this video too boring. We are going to show you the samples of what we're doing and why. And this is when you pressure wash. You see, it removed a lot of stuff, but it doesn't always take it all off. So people call me and say, "Hey, we pressure washed, but it all didn't come off." Well, guess what, guys? It all doesn't come off. And what we're doing here again, guys, is now, if you could zoom in here for a sec, Jay. Now this finish, they don't like it. The homeowner, and it's a lot of women who say, "Hey, I don't like the color." Well, folks, if you're annoyed with the color or the texture, J.I., Carl, Dan, we know how to do this. I've done about 100 of these. Jay's done about 20, 25. But if you're annoyed with the color or texture, it can be changed. You just have to know how to do it. It's similar to any of you women who are annoyed by a loud noise in your car. What do? You open the door and kick them out? Well, it's a similar thing. You just call somebody like us, and we know what we're doing. Google plastering contractors in your area. So we're going to get started in a minute, and we'll show you how you could change the color and the texture of your house. And again, what we're doing is a maintenance-free cementitious color coat. They do have acrylic color coats, but that's not what this video is about because it's already going to get long enough. Anyway, when we get to applying that finish, we'll show you how to do it. We'll show you because we can. Jason and Bill, they actually did the top. And what I'm doing, this is called floating. What kind of finish is this? Sand finish. Why do they call it sand finish? Because I'm using a float to bring the aggregate out. Anyway, Bill is kind enough to help us. He is also a 40-year licensed stucco dude. So he's helping us on this job because we got too many things going on, all of which you can't see. Anyway, when you come down to here, meet my little friend. You need trials like this too, guys. This helps me get the bottom. You need people like me. Okay, so here we go. And what I'm doing, guys, is I am taking the new stucco that Bill and Jay just put on, and I'm bringing it into my existing stucco. And this color here, French gray, is base 200. What does base 100 and base 200 mean? Base 100 means it's a white base. Base 200 means it's a gray base. And when you're dealing with a gray base, it's a little bit more difficult to keep that color uniform. And what I'm doing is the magic. After Jay and Bill spread, what I tend to do is get all of the joints out and fill the holidays. Holidays, what's that? No, I'm not talking about Madonna song Holiday. I'm talking about areas that you could see. In the old days, they call them holidays. You might call them boo-boos or patches, or we don't want the inside or the base coat to show. We can't have no blue showing because this is dove gray or silver gray. And so, again, I'm bringing the new into the existing. I take it from the bottom or it goes sideways, get some of that stuff off, because if this float fills up with too much aggregate or color coat, then it leaves a nasty finish. Anyway, we're going to keep doing this. I'll show you. Well, since Bill already got that over there, we'll show you just that part, and then we'll show you the end result. And while I'm here, I'll probably be rambling, and so is my nature. What I'm doing now, again, I'm looking at, I had to take my glasses off because what I'm trying to do is get out the majority of the holidays underneath. That means the finish underneath. And of course, when I do finishes like this, I tell people, you're always going to know, possibly you, the homeowner, that there was another finish underneath, because the final finish, you could only cover so much. We went ahead and we scraped everything down already, but there's still going to be some high and low spots. And I don't care how good a person is, you're not going to get every single high and low spot off that, say, somebody with nothing but time on their hands can't see an indentation here or a mountain there. Anyway, you see how that's doing right there. Now where Bill just spread, I want to keep this, if I dip this in water now, I'll bleach that. If I dip this in water, guys, here's what you apprentices should know. If I dip this in water and I hit this and I bring it into the existing, that's going to bleach it. It's going to be like pouring Clorox on blue jeans, so don't do that. What you can do is, when this fills up, take some of it off like that, and now take the new into the existing. Anyway, guys, we show you all this stuff because we're workers. We like to show we're the working class people. We show all you working class people who are less fortunate, or you don't want to hire somebody. Say you don't have enough money to put a pretty texture on your house and you're just barely squeaking by. And you think, man, I'm trying to keep food on the table. I don't care about a finish. We show all you guys, so that way you know how to do it. And you'd be surprised how many comments I get where people say, hey, Kirk, we watched your video. We did indeed do it. So that's who we basically cater to, the working man in this world, because we're working men in this world. Anyway, when we're done with the majority of this, we'll show you the final results. Okay, guys, we are through. Notice with the color coat maintenance-free cementitious finish, when you put it on, it's dark. And when it dries, it lightens up just like a brick. You wet that brick, it's going to wet and darken. But when drier conditions return, it's going to lighten up. And that's how it lasts hundreds of years. You see it in here. And like, we did all the tough stuff first. These two guys are essential. A $2 brush and a little bitty margin trowel. Without these guys, you're lost in space, because these get all your inner corners and your outer corners afloat. And if you're a good float man, by the end of the day, it should look like this. If you're a horrible float man, it'll look like this. Another story. Anyway, from Jay and I, Carl, and Dan, and my buddy Bill, we thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, folks, as always, we want to say thank you for watching. If you like what we put out, please like and subscribe, and we'll keep making content for you. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one.